Man, I just could not sleep last night. It started great, but then this happened. Only 4 more days. Tonight, tomorrow night, the next night, and Friday. Let's go. Yeah, baby. Another successful opener in the books. Look at that one. Ooh. Couple big daddies. Yeah. The processing is done. I still have one lobster, of course, that is actually going to go into a lobster mac and cheese inspired by Chews by Chew. If you have not checked out his Instagram, go check it out. I'll put a link in below. But one thing to note, so of course, go through, clean them all up, devein it. You can pull out this middle tail and squeeze it and pull, and the vein will come out. Otherwise, you can use an antenna and stick it right down the front here and swirl it, and it'll actually grab onto the poo vein right in the middle. So you go through, you clean them all up, you wash them all out, and then because they are spiny lobsters, oh, this one was a soft shell, so this is actually a piece of the soft shell that's coming off. But one of the things that you want to do is clip all the spines right along there, especially if you're going to freeze the tails. Make sure you dry the tails as much as possible. And then do not get rid of the horn pieces or the legs, because there is a ton of meat in here still. So do not dispose of those. Cook them up, make a little lobster cocktail or something fun with it. And then of course the innards. So these make the best stock or lobster bisque possible. So keep those, throw them in a pot, boil them up for a little bit with some celery, some onions, stuff like that. Get it cooking up nice and thick so you get a nice broth, make whatever you want out of it. And once that's done, don't throw it in the landfill. Bury it about a minimum of 6 inches deep in the soil around a plant or something like that. And you have got the best nutrients for your plants. They'll grow forever. Just ask me. I have tomato plants that I have continually put this stuff under, and now they're 2 to 3 years old. Literally still sitting out there producing tomatoes 2 to 3 years after I planted them. So, hope you enjoyed this. Make it easy. Don't be intimidated by the cleanup. I am now going to dry these as much as I can, throw them in some freezer bags and vacuum seal them so that we can have some tasty food. Cheers. You. Here we go with the first recipe of the 2025 lobster season. So the first thing we're going to do is a recipe by Chews by Chew on Instagram. He always has some awesome meals out there, so go check that out. So we are going to do a miso lobster mac and cheese with this bad boy right here. Say hi. Thank you for your service today. So the first thing we want to do is we got our water boiling or getting heat up. We're gonna heat up our pan. Let's get this pan heated up. All right, and then we are going to dispatch this guy here. He is a lively one still. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put a knife right here and we're going to dispatch it nice and humanely so it is out of its misery, and then we'll get going. All right, we got this oil nice and hot. Time to get these lobsters. All right, so we got our lobsters. We're gonna brown them up on one side, toss them over, brown them up again. We got our oil, our water about to boil. Once this is done, we are going to move over to
making a little roux out of this with some flour, and you can see some of that butter that lobster butter right there, that's from the head. And once we do that, we're gonna add a little butter, and then we'll do our cream, our cheese, then we'll add all this back in. Stay tuned. So I do have to make one departure from the recipe. I've got some panko here. My family requested to have some nice panko on top, so you just take a little bit of this. We're gonna toast up the panko. We're gonna put it on top with some Parmesan, and instead of baking it in the oven, it's just gonna go right on top. It's gonna create a nice little crust on top, and then we'll go from there. It's about time to check these out because I can smell some nice browning on it. So let's check these out. All right, how do our, ooh, they're looking good. Gonna use that in a second, so don't let these sit down in there a little bit longer. We're not gonna cook it all the way through, but we're gonna cook it pretty well here. Get that butter toasted up as well. Again, that is from the head. That is lobster butter. All right, the lobster's doing well. It's only been a couple minutes. We're gonna cook it a little bit longer on this side. We're gonna get those toasted up. We're gonna get this out, and then we're gonna add our butter, our lobster butter, and a tablespoon and a half of flour. We're gonna make up a quick little browning roux, and after that, we'll add in our cream. We'll add in our beautiful cheese, and then we'll get this added right back in. Then get our brown butter in here. We're kind of toasting it up a little bit. We don't want it to burn, so we're keeping it moving around. Now we need to get our heavy cream. So here we go with our heavy cream. We're gonna mix this in. We don't want it to burn, so we want to really mix it in really well. Gonna get this all blended up. So I'm gonna use something a little different. Haha! So now we're just gonna get all this blended up in here. Then we'll add our miso in a second. A little bit more cream, I think. Just get nice and thick. Oh yeah, there we go. Oh, it's looking real good. Now we're going to get our miso in there. How good those toasted panko look. Gonna get our 5 spice in here. Sorry, 7 spice. Mix that all in. Right after this, we're gonna start mixing in our cheeses. We got the noodles. We got the lobster. And done.